What's up everybody, how's it going and welcome to the Mina channel. Today we're gonna just do a different kind of video. I know I do news videos on Sundays, but today there's nothing really new that really need to want to discuss or talk about, so we're just gonna avoid that. But we are still gonna talk about one of my favorite characters on recent memory, and that is gonna be Sophia from Persona 5 Strikers. Now, I recently started doing these character discussion series where I talk about different characters and kind of just my thoughts on them and everything. And I'm almost done with kind of all of them. Sophie's like the last character that I want to talk about, but really left her last because there's just so much that I kind of like enjoyed about her. Although there are some things and some criticism from her character and that I kind of see that as valid, and I kind of see where it's coming from. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the video here today. So Sophia is one of the new characters in Persona 5 Strikers. A lot of people know her. Obviously, if you played the game, you know her too. But this character comes off as an interesting character because her archetype is already being used before in different kinds of media, particularly in Persona. Persona has used her character or her archetype a few times. In Persona 5, we had Morgana, who is actually pretty much similar to that. She is kind of, if you put in perspective, it's kind of like a character that's involved heavily with the story, doesn't have any memories, and kind of as they develop and grow, they kind of start not only discussing kind of like the person and where they come from, but also kind of wondering about, kind of like themselves, like what is it mean to be human, what does it mean to be the person that they are. Another character that has a very similar character archetype and character storyline overall is also Aegis from Persona 3. She does have a very similar, every single word that I said kind of fits for Aegis as well. So overall, I don't necessarily see it as a negative per se, although some people and a lot of people do use this as a negative. I personally don't think that it is the case. It is a negative and can be a negative, but in this case I do see that Sophie and Morgana and I guess are three very different characters, and they very have little in common with each other, more than not being human, but kind of learning about this person. Teddy from Persona 4 has a very similar storyline too, and honestly, I don't see it as a very negative. I do kind of like the way that they kind of learn and kind of grow into, develop into the characters that they become at the end of the game and everything, and I don't see it as an negative. It's just a character archetype, and again, every single game has kind of iteration or a similar character in every game, and I like the kind of character. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite thing. For example, a lot of people here know I don't necessarily like Morgana or Teddy too much, but I really like Aegis, and I do like Sophia quite a bit. Not only is she very interesting, yet she does have some interesting funny moments. She is actually very cute. I just like her personality. I think that they did a pretty good kind of introducing her and everything. I do realize that she's not for everybody, and that's fine too. It's just one of the things that I like about her. It's just the way that she acts and everything. Overall, she is one of the new favorite characters, I guess. She is very, very different from another new character, which a lot of people have kind of pairing her against, and that is from Persona 5 Royal Kasumi. No spoilers on her story, but some people do feel like she's kind of like better than Kasumi in some kind of ways, and I can actually see that. I can see where people are coming from when they say that kind of stuff. I personally don't have like one way or the other. I really just like characters for what they are. I don't really like to compare them between each other. It's just kind of like to have them have their own person and their own personality and everything like that, and I think that's okay. Just have them be individuals for each other and everything is that. So from here on, we are going to talk about spoilers pertaining to Sophie. So if you haven't played the game already, please click away on the video, but let's go ahead and jump right into spoilers. So Sophia at some point is revealed to be an AI created by Ichinose, and not only as this kind of character that is made for being like this a companion of humanity or whatever, but she was made by Ichinose based on her personality, and she was made because Ichinose has this issue where she doesn't really have like empathy, or like she's not able to comprehend like human emotions and everything. So she created her so she can kind of become more understanding of the human heart, so to speak. And so that's how Sophie was created. And that's interesting. Again, it does kind of bring the point as far as like the kind of person that Ichinose made Sophia to be, but at the same time she does become a completely different person from what Ichinose is, which is like an interesting have a personality based on somebody else but still be able to be distinctive enough from each other and everything. Overall, I didn't really like the plot twist or anything like that. I didn't think it was like necessary or anything. Could have been cooler if she was like a completely different person. Maybe she was created by somebody else with no purpose or something like that. Just having something that is just kind of like very predictable and really expected just kind of didn't really ring well to me. But I didn't really mind too much. I didn't really care to the point where I was like, oh man, this was a terrible plot twist or something. I just didn't really care much for it, to be honest with you. But I didn't like that she just, kind of just remembers and everything like that, and she does kind of want to help Ichinose at the end of the game. I thought it was pretty cool. Although, if you want to see my discussion on Ichinose, you can check that in the description because I do have other things to say about her particularly. Overall, I think that Sophia was a pretty okay character. She a pretty good character. I like the way that they made her design. I like her design. I like the way she talks, and I just like her personality overall. But I do can see why some people wouldn't be like too much into her. She is a specific kind of character, and I don't think like everybody is completely 100% likable. Everybody has some characters that they like more than the other, and that's fine too. Everybody has have different personalities, therefore they're like different kind of people. That totally makes sense to me. Anyway, that is pretty much in this video here, just discussing Sophia, one of my favorite characters in Persona 5 Strikers. Who is your preferred Persona 5 Strikers character? Let me know in the comments below. If you know, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.